And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, I'm Roy Potter. Welcome to Nightcap on this, the 5th day of December 2019, Thursday. And as you can see in the description box below, the real purpose of this little broadcast is to announce the one we're going to do tomorrow night. Let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm off on a little trip, little vacation, and I have a couple that are just a riot. They're basically your everyday Americans, the type of people that you like to have as your next door neighbor, lifelong friends, things like that. And we're going to get off of the situation with the elites in D.C. and their manufacturing nonsense to keep us all confused and at each other's throats and not knowing what up or down are. We're going to talk to these people tomorrow night, and I think we're going to have a great time. We're going to have, as you always know, it's a nightcap, and I do have a little. This is some of their whiskey, as a matter of fact, and some soda water. They offered it to me tonight, and it's actually pretty good. I'm surprised. As usual, I'd like to know how the sound is. I think we're going to be okay. It looks like everything's running. I did notice that there are some connection problems. That should surprise nobody. When Potter does a live stream, I have connection problems, even in a place like this. Sounds good, Finest Planet. Thank you so much. You might notice it cutting in and out. Okay, well, as I was saying, there's fog here. I hope you can find me again. Are we back up? Can you guys see this? Let me see if we've got this coming around. We keep having this problem here. Yeah, well, they say we were working, but at any rate, as I was saying before it interrupted again, we have a problem with the dish here, and there's a lot of fog outside, and so the fog might be interfering with this transmission because it is using a dish. So I apologize for that. Hopefully by tomorrow night it'll be all cleared up and we won't have any of these problems. Normally I have, from what I've seen here, is a pretty strong signal, and so at any rate, this is a common thing with my programs, you already know, so nothing new there. All right, so like I was saying, tomorrow night we're going to have a special program with a couple, and I think you're going to enjoy it. We'll get away from all the humdrum and the nonsense that these people in D.C. and in the intelligence community and the FBI and the DOJ and et cetera have been putting us through. And we're going to kind of do that tonight too. Basically what I'm here for, as I said, is to announce tomorrow night's program. But we are going to have a good time tonight as well, just for a little while, not as long as we would like to, but I just wanted to get on and let you know. Vegas has some fog, and I'm on one. As a matter of fact, the background for tomorrow night will be Vegas. And if you're wondering what the background is here, that's Oakland, California. That's what that is, for those of you who are interested. That is Oakland, California. So I see that the picture's a little bit hazy. It's not showing up like that on my OBS, but it is showing up on the transmission. No surprise there. But we'll just go on forward here. So welcome everyone to this short nightcap tonight. Again, please come by tomorrow. I'll be in studio. We're kind of going to have kind of like it's not a variety show, but it's going to be, kind of a laid back discussion. Not about anything in particular. I haven't even given them any real subject matter. I want it to be just, extemporaneous. Again, we'll enjoy a little bit of nightcap for real, and we'll have a really fun little discussion for those of you who, Friday nights you go out and you're with your loved ones or your friends or whatever, but If you're not doing anything particular because you're inside because of the weather or whatever, we'll do this tomorrow night, 8:30 Mountain Time tomorrow night. So I think we'll have a good time with it. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to go right to the chat because I think that's what we want to do tonight. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. And hopefully everything will keep running right. Again, hello everyone as you come in. Let's see what we've got. Turn it up a bit. Really? Turn it up a bit. Okay. I don't want to go too far. If you've got a problem with the volume, you'll want to set it on your side, because if I go too high on this, it'll start to overmodulate. Okay, and I don't want that. I do not want that. So that's as far as I'm going to go. Check your own settings, and we're just going to have to deal with it that way. Yeah, it was buffering there earlier, so hopefully we'll have a good strong signal now. Sound is just a bit low, quiet, now buffered and offline. Yeah, just lost the connection, gone. My server is buffering, frozen, damn it. Oh crap, bye. Start again, buffering now, gone. Offline, here he is, back from the dead, getting a picture and sound. No, you're back. Reload page. I notice the people that run everything shut it down as soon as there's something they don't want us to hear. Well, I'm not sure that's what's happening here. I think what we've got is a situation with the fog and the dish, as I explained. I don't think anybody's after my nightcap show. It just isn't normal. Oh, Andy Belk here from Thailand. Oh, thank you. Are you in a London fog? Yeah, it's actually pretty thick. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good, Nat man. Oh yeah, the fog. That's just Nancy Lunatic Pelosi breathing out her arse. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Massive nighttime chemtrails here in Central Florida. Yeah, that Richard Einstein. Interesting name. That's interesting. Gordon Koch, you say, why is it only the controversial people I listen to have this problem? Well, yeah, in most of my other places where I do this, it is very odd. But here I'm pretty sure it's the fog that we're having because, like I said, we have a signal that comes over the air, not a landline. Constance Klostermeyer, I wouldn't visit Oakland at night, would you? I have, actually. It was several years ago, but that picture, I took it from, I think it was a Marriott hotel, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think it was a Marriott hotel, and I took it at night. Yeah, and I'd been out on the street that night, too. Yeah, it's not that part of town isn't really bad, but anywhere in Oakland, you got to keep your wits about you, that's for sure. Am I in Oakland now? No. No, that's just a picture that I took many, many years ago. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and I will be here through the first of the year. I have friends here I'm going to see, family, going to meet some people I've never met before, things like that. We're just going to have a good time. It's time for me to hit the road and get out and travel a little bit, so that's what we're doing. Okay, your volume is fine to me. Good. Wrong thack. That's interesting. You look thirsty, Roy. Well, I've got that taken care of. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got. Sister calls. She made it. The drive was fine. Oh, good. Thanks, Finest Planet. I appreciate that. It's chow time, Roy, for you all. Good. YouTube has been slow here in all, and it could be something else too. You know, one of the reasons why I decided to do this show tonight, and I talked about it the other day, I am not what YouTube considers to be, my channel is not what YouTube considers to be commercially viable. In other words, they don't make money off of it, because the few advertisements that you see are, as I've explained before, are because of some royalty material that was used legally, but they do get paid for that. I don't. Most of that comes from Pam Jones, from the introductions that she made at the, when you first come to my channel, the introduction that you see at the top. So at any rate, no pick. Well, we should be back now. Let's see if we got this. Audio's good. Yeah, it's showing that it's up there, so we'll just keep going. So I wanted to come on tonight primarily because my days might be numbered here, and I figured I better take advantage of the situation while I can. Again, more relaxation tonight. We're not going to get into the politics. No help for my cat, Roy. Corgrog Grago. Interesting. Uh, Next Tuesday is the 10th, and we're going to see what happens. I think that's the 10th, isn't it? I believe it is. Next Tuesday. And that's the day that YouTube said they were going to start taking down channels that are not commercially viable for them. Yeah, that's next Tuesday. Now, the interesting thing, of course, is, I will say this, we have the IG report being available to everyone on the 9th. And we have Horowitz testifying on the 11th. And sometime next week also we should see some information from Durham. We'll see. I've been putting out a lot of information. As a matter of fact, I'll give you this much information. I'm not waving any flags or jumping up and down with glee. I know I've heard about what John Solomon has said and all these other people. But, this hopium stuff is just not any good for me, so I don't pay much attention to it. Boy, this is really odd, too. All kinds of weird things are happening here. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. Okay, so John Cardillo tonight, he sent out some information, and he said this. He's a former police officer, and he said, Speaker Pelosi lied. She lied to steal your vote and is getting a pass. The facts aren't uncontested. They're hotly contested. This is a coup, but it's no longer a clandestine soft coup. It's forcible and on display for the world to see. And then Gigi Sims, I'll just give you this too. I texted her tonight. And this is what she said earlier. It was in a thread that she wrote. If you follow her on Twitter, she says, So I say to all of you who hope a Horowitz or a Barr will deliver justice, don't get angry at me for speaking the truth. Our republic as we once knew it is gone. And the quicker that we accept this truth, the sooner we can find a remedy. False hope is worse than surrender. So those are the kinds of things that you're hearing from people who do have contacts and do understand, sorry, I hit the camera, who understand what's happening. And, of course, I would like to think that things are going to go the way that they should, but I'm not anticipating. So that's all I'm going to say about all that tonight. If you want to get into a political discussion, we'll try it next Monday or Tuesday in the morning on a show then when I come back, if I'm still around at that point. Okay, so I wanted to see what you all have been up to, find out if anything interesting is going on. I drove up here. It took me about 14 hours to get here. And wow, some crazy weather. Where I thought it would be good, it was not. It was raining, sleeting, snowing, and lots of fog. And where I thought I'd run into a lot of snow, up in the Blues in Oregon, it was 40 degrees and clear skies between LeGrand and Pendleton, Oregon. Very strange. Let's see. In case you didn't see my... Spirit Physical. Will I ever go to BitChute? I don't know. I could try BitChute. I could try Twitch. I don't know yet. I'm not certain that I'd carry on much after this. We'll see. I'm leaving that door open, and I do have other interests as well. I enjoy doing this and talking with you folks, but at the same time, there is a grand plan to basically shut us all up because although we will allow the opposite side to voice their opinions and their concerns, they don't do that. And Alex Jones does one really good thing. And I've been talking about it a long time, that what we're seeing here now in our time is, in the scriptures, what was referred to as the war in heaven, and it's now happening here. The AI, as I pointed out some time ago, is being worshipped as God. It is a created being, created, not begotten. The begotten sons and daughters, some of them were beguiled by in the war in heaven by the created being as Satan. That's what you normally call him. uh, because he wanted to take God's place and be like God's children. And we're seeing that happen right now, and many of God's begotten children are being fooled, as you know. And if the scriptures are right, about a third of them will fall for this entire thing with the AI and all that. Hopefully we don't do that. Okay, Mildred McClarkin, did you use US 9395 going up to... No, no, I did not. I came up... 395, of course, is through Reno and that area, and I was further east. I came up 15 to 84 to 82, and then to 90, and then up from there. Okay, so I'm up way up north in Washington State. Might end up in Spokane, possibly later next week. We'll see. Does my dog have a problem? I thought this was the Comedy Roy show. Well, I'm not real funny, but I think the people that I'm going to have on tomorrow night, you'll enjoy their tales and what they talk about. They're really characters, both of them. And it's a couple, and they're just really fun. So we'll do that tomorrow night. Let's see. If they take you off YouTube, how do we stay in touch with you? You folks are really nice to ask me about that. I'll still have my Twitter account until they get rid of me off of there, and that's at Royston Potter. It's in the description box below, and you can see that. Am I okay? You're gone. La Sambo. Nah. Deep State Shill Potter is back, really. Oh man, you're gone. I will not put up with people like you anymore. I just will not. Bye. Go find somebody else to harass, okay? All right. Yeah, some other people apparently were getting a little upset at them too. Is tomorrow night a set time? Gary, yes it is. It's going to be at 8:30 Mountain Time. There'll be 2 more people on this small set that I have. I'm actually working on some ways to try to back the camera up a little bit so that all 3 of us can be here in some comfort. But it's definitely going to be at 8:30 Mountain Time tomorrow, and I think you'll have a good time. This is the time of the year where we should, extend our friendships, enjoy people. Not, like I said, not just talk about the nonsense that continues to happen in our country, and of course in the upper echelons of our government, and it's permeated throughout the whole place. Anyone know what's happening in Ohio? I haven't heard. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Will you ever come to the Big Island? Oh, I've been to Hawaii several times. As a matter of fact, I think it was the very first nightcap show I did. As the background, it was a picture of Waikiki at night. Yeah, maybe. I might get there actually sometime after the first of the year. There's a possibility. Okay. Oh, Liza Jean Williams is here. Thank you, Liza Jean. I see you're taking care of things for me. I appreciate that. I don't see Roosevelt, but he's usually here. And then we've got a couple others. Headlines with a Voice probably isn't on tonight. I'm sure she's inundated with work at this point with all the crazy things that are going on. And then Kay Smalls, too. I'm sure she's busy. But anyway, thank you, moderators, for being here and taking care of things. DC is a garbage show. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Please give us a group email that we can join. I don't actually use my email much, but like I say, you all are very kind. Just got in. Yes, Liza Jean, I see. Thank you. And this isn't a big deal tonight. I really come on because I told some people I might do a nightcap tonight, so I thought I better make an appearance. But it's really to announce that we're going to have a really nice show tomorrow night where we're going to visit with some nice people, tell some jokes, some stories. This is Monograph's fault. You know that, right? Here's to you, here's to me, here's to old, here's to new, all that. I guess I said that backwards. But, we're going to have a little nightcap tomorrow night. We're going to have some fun. These people you'll really like. Yeah, I am relaxing tonight. That's this whole time right now. This time of year, normally I don't do a lot of information on my YouTube channel, with the exception of the nightcap shows now. Because, we really need some time to relax and get away, and I've talked about that before. and tomorrow night will be, especially that. Next week, I anticipate, if my YouTube channel is not taken down, that I am going to be very busy. Even though I'm on vacation, I will be watching things. I am mostly concerned, as I've said several times now, that if no arrests happen, then all of this has been for nothing. There's some very good people with intelligence backgrounds and information that are saying quite the opposite about what's coming or what to expect than people like Bongino and Greg Jarrett. I'm not saying they're wrong, Bongino or Greg Jarrett, but they're cheerleaders at this point, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I am a little concerned that things may not turn out the way they should. And I'm just honest about it, okay? I mean, we've seen enough now. Trump has waited way too long. Well, anyway, I didn't want to get into political stuff tonight, so let's see what other things you're talking about here. Okay. Oh, no, that's interesting. Seymour Columbus, a guy may have invented a cold fusion reactor, free energy. Think Tesla. Yeah, free energy doesn't need a cold fusion reactor. I guess you know that, right? Cold fusion was actually first pursued by some people, two professors at the University of Utah, and according to the professionals, the scientific community, no one could duplicate their experiment. So, in other words, it wasn't accepted. Could it have been that they were sabotaged? Yes, of course, it's possible. I did not know either professor. I used to know their names, but the cold fusion thing kind of went away. The free energy situation is still very much there, but of course they don't want us to have that, so they're doing everything they can to keep, because once you have energy, you're basically set free, right? I mean, almost totally. So they can't have that, and I think most of you know it. Okay, let's see. Are we still running? It looks like we are, but man, I'll tell you what, it's intermittent, I'm afraid. And I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen, but with me, that's how things are going to be, isn't it? Okay. Finest Planet, no-hide laws. I've already talked about that several times. The no-hide laws are the stakes that Jesus complained about to the scribes and Pharisees. He says, you put up stakes and don't let men pass, neither they nor you. Those stakes he was talking about were the legalese of the scribes and Pharisees, which are the no-hide laws, which actually were codified in the Talmud later. Okay, and the Talmud is supposed to be a commentary, kind of like the Mishnah. I don't know if you know all these things, but the no-hide laws are a perversion of the Torah, in my estimation. Rabbis would be very upset to hear me say that, but that's in fact the case. No-hide laws are supposed to apply to all of mankind, supposedly. That was a rabbinic decision. It did not come from God that way. As a matter of fact, the original 10 Commandments were only for Israel. But that's how I look at it. The stakes were put up, the no-hide laws, amongst other things. For instance, the idea that you could only pick up, so many sticks on a Sabbath. And you couldn't pick corn on the Sabbath. Well, it wasn't corn, actually. It was actually barley. They didn't have corn. But the word was translated into corn. But the fact of the matter is that all of those details of the legal aspects of that the scribes and Pharisees and the Sadducees tried to do, they were trying to make it so that people were going to follow Torah to the letter. But many times it was to the detriment of the spirit of the Torah. And that's exactly what the no-hide laws are. They're a presumptuous addition to the Torah, to the 10 Commandments and to the other commandments in the Torah. So while in some respects they might be nice, they're not commandments in any way, shape, or form. They're interpretations by the rabbinic community. That's what they are, particularly the Talmudic rabbinic community. Okay, let's see what. Oh, headlines with a voice. You are here. Oh, you have been doing such hard, great work lately. I want to thank you for everything that you're doing. Um, I appreciate it. I think you know that. Uh, I, I, we're not going to get into the politics tonight, um, ma'am, but and neither tomorrow night. We're going to try to relax from all that, and that's what this is going to be. But you and Gigi Sims, I think you know who I'm talking about, are amazing to me. And of course, I also like BCP, Black Conservative Patriot. He's more of a news guy, commentator, well, his background is in finance, economics, which is good. But I'm pretty sure that I don't know what your background is exactly, but from the way that you handle things, I think you have a professional background in this. And I'm pretty certain that Gigi Sims is former intelligence. I don't think that's bad to say that. Often I've thought that you two might be one and the same, and some other things, but we won't get in it. Anyway, thank you very much for being here. It's an honor to have you here again. I appreciate you so much. Okay, let's see what else we have. I don't know that that's true, Gordon Oog. You say that 80% of the people that are trying to take out Trump are of a Jewish persuasion. This guy, Don Tuck, who was, they were there at the NATO summit, and he pointed his two fingers at Trump's back. That was not a good move. That could mean something else that's not good, just like many of us think. It's really not that. It gets more complicated than trying to blame it all on Jews. I'm not saying that there aren't Jews that there are Jews we can't trust, absolutely, and not all Jews are Semites, and not all Semites are Jews. I know the history extremely well, and that's my training actually is in the Middle East and the history of those peoples. And as I said the other day, when Jews claim that we're being anti-Semite because we don't like the wrong things that they do, they also forget that their Arab brothers are Semites as well, and they don't want people to understand that. And there are other Semites around the world as well, not just the Jewish people. Okay, you're welcome, Finest Plan. And one of these days I might get into it again. Go look at my religious series, and you'll see a lot in there about that, especially some of my earlier religious series videos. I get into the situation with the Herodians, who were Edomites, and how they were put into power in the Jewish nation by the Romans. And it's just not the way it's been handed down to us. Historically, it's quite a bit different. King Herod was not an Israelite, and he wasn't even really a Jew. Some people would argue with me on that as to the new term for Jew, and I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, he was not of Israelite ancestry. He was not, and unfortunately, a lot of the rabbinic Judaism came out of the Herodian. I don't want to say perversions, but out of the Herodian Edomite culture. Let's put it that way. So it changed right there at the destruction of the Second Temple. Yeah, Semites from Shem. That's exactly right, Gordon Oog. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, I agree with you, Brian Wilson. There are Jews that are totally behind Trump. For instance, Dr. Dershowitz, Professor Dershowitz. I mean, yeah, he has some other questionable things about him, but there's a good example of somebody who is backing him up. Okay, so that's right. Yeah, pure in heart, always pure in heart. The by their fruits you shall know them, and that's how you do it. And it's an individual thing. It can be applied to populations, but definitely to individuals. A friend who knows China claimed that they're getting close to Soviet-style collapse soon. Well, they're becoming so bad, especially look what they're doing in Hong Kong. These are the kinds of things that got the people in Russia to finally turn against the Soviets. Could be, but you know what? What's happening in the United States? We're looking at that. Aren't we having the same problem here? Look at what the FBI and the IC is doing here in our own government. Look at Pelosi. Look at the House of Representatives. Look at the Democrats, who could actually be considered the Communist Party of the United States at this point. Look at all the things that they've done. Look at the narrowing down of our First Amendment, freedom of speech, even our freedom of association, and especially, of course, the big one at this point is the Second Amendment, what they want to do with that. But Trump is as guilty on that one. Actually, he talks really nice at the rally saying, we're going to protect your Second Amendment, and then he pushes the red flag laws. And I've covered all that before. We won't go there again in any detail tonight. Are you familiar with the Sabbateans? Absolutely, yes. If you know anything about Robert Eisenman, Dr. Robert Eisenman, he was, in my estimation, he is the world's leader. He's older now. He is the world's leader and scholar on the Dead Sea Scrolls, and he understands that whole thing with the first century quite well. And it's not the traditional Bibliothèque Nationale view or the Israeli Antiquities Authority. He doesn't follow either of those. And he's proven it. He's written some books. I don't have them with me. I didn't bring them. I've showed them before. James, the Brother of Jesus, is one book you could look. Robert Eisenman is the author. And another one would be, that's a good one to get. It's out of print, but you can find it. But Robert Eisenman did a lot of work on that. Okay. I bet Pelosi sleeps in a coffin. Nah, I don't think she's quite there yet, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, Patrick Lee, he says the Dems call out Trump on constitutional grounds, yet the Dems trample the document. Well, that's what Saul Alinsky tactics are. You accuse your opponent of what you do. That's just normal. And that's why you need to have eyes to see and ears to hear. And you look at their fruits, and their fruits show that they're very, very anti-constitutional, very, very anti-American Republic, very, very anti-Bill of Rights. Absolutely, they are. They sing nice songs, but when it comes down to it, they want to restrict you from exercising those God-given rights that are supposed to be protected by them and by the Constitution. Okay. Yeah, we all need to call them. Calling's not going to help much anymore. We've entered into a new phase, and I know calling is, people are still saying to do that, and I'm not saying not to. But we've entered into a phase now that the battle lines are drawn, and there's no going back here. Both Gigi Sims and Headlines with a Voice are right in their estimates of the situation here. We have entered into a place where there is no reconciliation possible any longer. And I'm sorry, but that's just the case. Oh, bruise me not. So Nancy Pelosi doesn't like to be called Hateful Nancy? It certainly fits, doesn't it? Let's not talk too bad about her. Mountain Pockets Woody Nickel. Cremation will be Nancy's last chance for a smoking hot body. Jamie Howard, I'm with Trump no matter what. Well, I understand what you're saying. And again, I don't want to get into a lot of politics tonight, and we keep going that way. But as Gigi Sims and Headlines with a Voice have both lamented, there's been so much of this hopium and this personality worship of Trump that we have not held his feet to the fire on his promises. I'm sorry, we just haven't. And I'm not going to get into an argument about that tonight. We're going to do that next week. Probably as things progress or don't progress, as the case may be. I have not made up my mind, as I've told you before. I'm not in the camp of Dan Bongino and Greg Jarrett and Sarah Carter and John Solomon, all who think that this thing is going to, be a torrent of justice and people getting jailed. And then the other side that says nothing's going to happen. I'm almost leaning more towards the latter, but I'm hoping that something significant will occur. We can't go down. We can't continue as a nation like this. It's going to break, and I would just as soon break using the Constitution to go after those who have committed these seditious, sometimes treasonous, and certainly criminal acts in what they've done. There is no other way. And yes, it's going to be a firestorm, absolutely, 100%. But I guarantee you that there is no way to fix this otherwise. Not now. We're balkanized. The country's going to be broken up. It's just a question of when and how badly. That's all. Okay, so no matter what you think that Trump's going to be able to fix, he's not going to be able to. And, early on, like I said, I had hopes that he might be this Cyrus figure. Okay, that's all I'm talking about. The Koresh figure, not David Koresh, but that's another story too. But he had the chance to do that, and he didn't take it. He waited too long. There's a thing called initiative, and he lost the initiative. And all the excuses are that he needed to prepare the country for what was coming so that they would understand. Well, they're not going to understand. Those who, there's that bell curve, and I've talked about it before. You have people on this side who will go with Trump no matter what, people on this side that will be against him no matter what, and then this large bell curve in the center that basically aren't going to do anything. Okay, they'll be the thing that will turn them to do something is if they can't get gas or food. And that's not going to be pro-Trump or pro-Pelosi. It's not going to work like that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, most people that understand what's happening, Chief Ryback, you say true news is Rick Wiles keeps saying we are very close to civil war. We are in a civil war at this point right now. We are. It's just that as Representative Louis Gohmert says, the next step is the firearms come out, and it's not going to be from the people. This is going to start in the government itself, and it probably already has. The situation with a lot of different things that are going on at this point. Yeah, I know I'm talking politics again. Gary says, "Oh, you're talking politics. Knock it off." Okay, so I don't want to keep everybody tonight. Tomorrow night's going to be the big night, I think. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm inviting you tonight. I'll set the timer for tomorrow to show that the show will be on at 8:30 Mountain Time. So I hope you can come and join us. If you have your own nightcap, have it ready, because this is going to be just some time to visit and have fun. And I think you'll enjoy it. We'll have a few anecdotes, some jokes, some life experience stories. You'll like mine. I told this couple this tonight, as a matter of fact. I told them a story that happened to me when I was in high school. And, hey, Edelson James, how you doing? And they got a kick out of it. And then they told me some that actually outdid my story. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So please join us 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow night, and hopefully we don't have any problems with interruptions on the internet. All right. Now you're depressed, San Jose? Why is that? Why are you depressed, San Jose? Why would that be? Albert L7A7, it is a shame that the Millers split on their loyalty. Well, go watch Valkyrie and you'll understand why I'm concerned with what the general officers are doing and the 05s and above at this point. It's very, very bad. By the way, Headlines with a Voice, if you're still here, do you agree with me about the problems with the officer corps, especially the flag officers? I think you know what I'm talking about. If you're still here, if you could let me know, because we've had some communications, but I'm just wondering if you think that my concerns there are correct. Because I thought so. She says yes. All right. Thanks, Nancy. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure and it's a privilege and it's an honor and a blessing to know that there are people like you. Yeah, Obama purged all the Patriot officers out. That's exactly right. And I've said that before, that anybody who is left, who made it through that purge, is suspect. Yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks. I really appreciate appreciate you coming by tonight. I will get the ticker up there right after we're done here, after I know this is uploaded and all processed. And I will get the notification about tomorrow up so that the countdown begins, okay? And we're going to have a good time. You're going to enjoy this, all right? Thanks, everybody. And we'll take some of your anecdotes and stories, too, just like I did tonight. You have something interesting to share, something funny. Like I said, we want it to be light. Next week's going to be, it's going to be rigid, and it's going to be extremely serious next week. We can make fun of what the Dems are doing, but this is dangerous, okay? Again, like I said, it's not that what they're saying about Trump is true or that the impeachment is proper. It's that they are giving cover to what is going to happen next. That's what's happening here, okay? All right, everybody. Hey, thanks a bunch, and we will see you tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Same time, same channel, all right? And here's all to you for coming tonight. Thank you very much. Oh, Headlines with a Voice. Was it you? I think it was. Please say hi to Craig Sawyer for me, okay? All right. And we're out for the evening. Till next time.